Good afternoon. I was on my 2 week break. Wasn't gonna do anything, and unfortunately, this Meg the Stallion clip. I guess she has an interview with Gail King coming up on CBS in the mornings. If you, I'm not even gonna go there. But seeing that little 1 minute clip just sent my brain spiraling. And I was just like, you know what? We'll go ahead and knock this video out and go back and finish watching. Hopefully the Bulls win their playoff game. But I titled this the destruction of the black man starring Meg the Stallion because this is, I've told you guys 1,000 times over, this is how our image has been portrayed. It's the reason why it's portrayed the way it's portrayed. See, what they love to do is tell you it's the white man's fault. Now, they say that for a lot of reasons. They say it's the white man's fault because the majority of black men think their problems are the white man's fault, which again, I'm not really a fan of that thought process, but that's a whole nother conversation. And then you have the leaders of their feminist movement telling you what? We're being oppressed and suppressed by the white man. So he's the boogeyman. You got to understand that. So we look at those things and we start and we say, yo, it's Buddy fault, man. It's not black women. But I always tell you, they love to tell you we got a problem in this country with police shooting unarmed black men. We got a problem in this country with our babies being murdered by police officers. We got a problem in this country about white men killing black men. Now, I just played you last episode. What did you hear the woman say? What did you hear those women saying? We get sexually turned on seeing black men get their ass whooped by the cops. That's a true sign of masculinity. Let me take a sip. This might be a 2-hour one today. They get turned on by that. Then we have what? Then we had the next conversation of how has black women put us in a line of fire? We're deemed as what? Drug dealers, woman beaters, deadbeat dads, rapists, child molesters, and intellectually dumb. Not me saying this. This is what black women are saying. These are the conversations they're having. When they have their little huddles, they love to say what? I'm educated. Black men are intimidated by my education. That's cool. You got a degree. You can retain information. Doesn't mean you're educated. Mean you book smart. Means you can retain the information that was given to you. Mean you have a skill. Does not mean you're intelligent, though. And see, that's the problem I run into when I'm discussing and having these conversations with a lot of human beings, men or women. A lot of the intellectual juggernauts I know don't have degrees, but they could think you under the ground and into the heavens. They can bring up points that those books won't ever bring up. But they can bring those points up because what? They're not locked in those four walls that you have when you get that degree. They don't operate mentally inside of a box. So they're able to see things differently. But let's keep this focus. Us being thought of is woman beaters, deadbeat dads, drug dealers, murderers, rapists, child molesters, Those all come from one person only. That's the so-called Black Queen. So of course, when Meg comes out and says, what, 2 years ago, basically, Tory shot me, and she got up twerking after they did the WAP and the WAP remix, and they get up twerking. It's why I tell y'all, be very leery of Jay-Z also. Because no matter what he says, Beyonce seems to put her hands in her face on a lot of feminist things that shit on black men. Now, because she's married to Jay, and most people look at Jay as, yo, he one of us. Jay ain't one of us no more, dog. Jay gone. He told you already home. He literally mean that. So you have to understand, when you see Beyonce doing remixes with Meg Thee Stallion, when you see what was it called, Function or whatever that was, when she did at the Super Bowl, where they doing this whole pro-black and old to the Black Panther party, and she got a blonde wig on. When she understands the image that Meg Thee Stallion is portraying out here, when she understands the image that a Cardi B is portraying out here, when she understands what those women have black women as a collective looking like, and she puts her name on that, that means she co-signs that. No different than Maxine Waters or any of these other elders that we love to get all this respect to. Remember, they were these girls' age at some point in time. So don't forget that 60-year-old who you think is a vet and calm and mild-mannered, why she feels this music so much and these images so much is because that was her. Now, what she's done is, like I told you before, she shape-shifted into the mother goddess person now. And now her fight is against the man. Now, unfortunately, because black men are men, then we take the brunt also of white men. We have this whole conversation of what? Now, y'all oppressing and suppressing also, because you're a man. You get it way better. You got it way better than we'll ever have it. You guys have been able to do what you wanted in America since the beginning of time. We was in slavery right with you. We've been oppressed right with you. We've never been in power to oppress or suppress anything in terms of having real economic impact in this country. So that's bullshit. But you have the leaders of the feminist movement, white women, the leaders of the LGBTQ movement, white women and white men, having what? Will use black women because they've been through slavery. Will use Hispanic women because they've been through slavery. So those are the marginalized people. So whenever they need to play that guilt card, you'll see white women start lending a hand and an ear to black issues. You'll see them coming and saying what? Black lives matter. Now, do they really believe that? No. But they understand for our movement to get the traction that it needs and the sympathy it needs, this thing needs a face. Who's the face we want to give it? Hell, LGBTQ was the face of Black Lives Matter. They told you they was looking to destroy the nuclear family, blow it up, start a whole new type of family, a village they like to call it. So you gotta understand, all of these hands are at play. And again, like I tell you, I've had conversations with my buddies about this. And I always tell them the public is not, how do I want to say it without insulting? They're not sharp enough to understand all of the hands at play, all of the cooks in the kitchen, all of the seasonings in the sauce. They don't understand that. They don't have the palate for it. So I have to bring everything down to low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit is to really just hold the people responsible that can control their actions. Because most people, again, believe they control their own actions. I happen to know you don't, but again, that's not what this video is about. either. So what we now will do is start with the first video Meg did. We're going to lead up to the Gail thing, but I need y'all to understand what was said, how it was said, and how everything now has changed almost 2 years later.
I'm from Houston.
This is August 20th, 2020.
I'm from the motherfucking South Side. It ain't like let me go run and tell my business to the motherfucking internet. Let me go run and tell my business to the police. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been that type of person. Like, but I'm not gonna let y'all keep playing in my face. And I'm not gonna let this nigga keep playing in my face either. So, since y'all hoes so worried about it, yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying.
Now notice she told you he shot me. You shot me. Now that changes from what we know now because they've come out and said, hey, yo, there was no gunshot residue on him. Now it was residue on somebody else, not on him. Which is now why I believe, what we'll hear later is what we heard.
Why lie? I don't understand. I tried to keep the situation off the internet, but you dragging it. You really fucking dragging it.
And she didn't try. To be honest, there are things, again, those who follow me know, there are things my ex-wife has done that will never see the light of day because they don't serve anyone any good but me. It would be me tearing her down. She won't benefit from it. I won't benefit from it because it's not going to change anything, and it'll make my children look at their mother differently. So if I say I want to keep something away, then you just keep it away and you tuck it in, if that's what you truly wanted to do. But of course, that's not what she did. So again, right here, we just grandstanding. We want to make it look like I'm operating under the guise of street code when you're not. And that's cool. You don't got to. But again, let's not deal with feelings. Let's deal with facts. Because when you deal with feelings, now we start getting into I thought, I felt. This is what I believed happened. Again, when I tell you the destruction of the black man, a lot of shit happens. Emmett Till is dead because of what people want to believe happened. And then we'll come back and say, yeah, that's not what happened. Motherfucker dead now. It don't even matter. I'm watching an episode of Ayanla a few years ago. Mother done told all her children, the father molested all of you all. They come back, lie detector test. Yeah, that's a lie. Well, I thought you did. I'm sorry. You lied to these girls for 20-some years now. Do you understand the emotional damage that's been done at that point? Like there's not enough apologies at that point. My name is ruined out here. When you accuse a man of rape, child molestation, domestic violence, when you accuse a man of those things, ain't no coming back from that. And see, women think is, okay, I was feeling the way I was feeling, but I'm apologizing now. What else do you want me to do? Don't lie. See, I'm of the mindset at this point, if you're caught lying, whereas you purposely made up a lie to say I got raped, you purposely made up a lie to say that child got molested or domestic violence, you purposely made those lies up, the person who's lying should have to do the same amount of time that the person would have gotten had he actually committed those crimes. You can't keep letting women get off with a I'm sorry and $1,000 fine and going on about their business. It can't keep maneuvering like this.
Motherfuckers talking about hit this nigga. I never hit you. Motherfuckers was like, oh, she mad because he was trying to fuck with Kylie. No, I wasn't. Like,
and it wasn't Kylie, so she's not lying right there. And you have to understand also, they got Tory with a gag order. So what's going on now is he's not allowed to speak publicly about her or this case at all, but she's allowed to do all the interviews she wants, create all of the narratives that she wants. See, the pool, if you're having a jury trial, the jury pool is already tainted because there's no way to maneuver around and say, I didn't know this happened. And those who will say, I didn't know, they'll say, I don't know too much of it, but they have an opinion of it. And again, it's like I told you, if I find a woman who's been raped and put on a jury, or she has a family member, or he has a family member who's been raped, put them on the jury. If the person who raped that family member was never found guilty, this is their time now to get retribution. This is their time now to get justice. So now they're going in, not even really listening to the facts of this case. He's guilty already because I know these type of men get away with that. They got away with raping my cousin, my sister, or whoever else. They don't get away on my watch. You guilty. I don't care what the facts say. You guilty.
You dry shot me. Like everybody in the car. It's only four motherfuckers in the car. Me, you, my homegirl, and your security. Everybody in the car arguing. I'm in the front seat. This nigga in the back seat. I'll get out the car. I'm done arguing. I don't want to argue no more. I'll get out. I'm walking away. This nigga from out the back seat of the car started shooting me. You shot me. I ain't get cut by no glass, but let me tell you why they saying that. When the police, because the people in the neighborhood, there's a witness. When the police came, because the neighbors called the police, this did not happen at Kylie house. This happened damn near back at the house I was staying at. I was just trying to get home. We was 5 minutes away from.
Now I want you to notice she said we was arguing. I was tired of arguing. I got out the car. You get out your own car and say, I'm walking home. That was an intense argument because that's my car. That ain't nothing frivolous. But I do want you to pay attention to that once we get to that little clip she had with Gail.
My spot. The police come. I'm scared. All this shit going on with the police is shooting motherfuckers for anything. The police was literally killing black people for no motherfucking reason. Soon as the police tell us all get out the motherfucking car, the police is really aggressive. You think I'm about to tell the police that
now she done got shot, jumped back in the car. Terrified, got back in the car. Now what that lends to now is what? Women who've been abused in abusive relationships. So now those who've been abused, they hear this and say, yeah, I can relate. I know exactly why she did that. Logically, does that make sense? Hell no. And of course, we know she whooped her 6'9" boyfriend ass. Of course, she would probably whoop Tory low 5'5" ass, right? She taller than Tory by 6 inches, outweigh him by like 30, 40 pounds. So I don't think she's terrified of him. Matter of fact, I know the way she operates and talks. She's not terrified of him. Which is why she stated again, I'm from the south side of Houston.
And we, niggas, us black people, got a gun in the car? You want me to tell the laws that we got a gun in the car so they can shoot all of us up? Nigga, I'm scared. It's a fucking helicopter over us and some more shit.
Now, it's amazing how black people become terrified when the cops come around. Now, they recognize the cops as authority. They don't recognize anybody else as authority. But now you have to understand whose feelings are she playing on now. This is in the wake of George Floyd. This is in the wake of everybody else who's being murdered out here in the streets. So what's going on in 2020 during this pandemic? You know what? Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, all these things are going on. So that gives her now what? That makes her a hero. I was trying to save Tory. That's why I was quiet. I didn't want another innocent black man to get killed. Hell no. If his ass shot you, send his ass to jail where he belongs.
Why?
But before I finish, this makes sense for hood chicks because this is how hood chicks operate. They'll beat on their man will beat on their ass. They don't really call the cops unless the fights get way, way, way out of control. So they understand they're always operating under the guise of we don't involve the law in this.
How the fuck would I tell the law somebody got a gun in his car and this nigga shot me? So I can get shot, you can get shot, she can get shot, he can get shot. I ain't tell the police what happened immediately right then because I didn't want to die. I don't want the police to shoot me because it's a nigga with a gun in the car.
Why would they shoot you? You bleeding. You were shot. They should be bringing you to aid. Now, they may have shot him. That's fine. But why would they shoot you?
I'm leaking, I'm bleeding. Motherfuckers, I'm lying, bitch. Did I pay a helicopter to come over me and record my feet leaking blood?
Now, if they leaking blood, she didn't want to tell the cops she was shot. Blood leaking, the cops asking something, right? They are coming to Meg asking, hey, why are you bleeding? What happened here? What are you saying?
But no, how the fuck I'm gonna fake that? I didn't tell the police nothing because I didn't want us to get in no more trouble than what we was already about to get in. The fuck? I get to the motherfucking hospital, the police bitch being so rude to me. Well, what's going on? Like, da-da-da-da, you're being detained, da-da-da. Ma'am, I'm being detained, I'm leaking. But I'm still not saying what happened. Shit crazy. The motherfucking doctor, the police.
Now, this is a way for her to still keep, because her fan base is hood chicks and the so-called, as Cam was talking about, boss bitch. She don't want to come off as weak to them. So this comes off as, yo, Meg a real one for behaving like this.
Finally let me go. I ain't go to jail. Them 3 motherfuckers went to jail. I get to the hospital, the doctors do x-rays on my feet. Oh ma'am, you got bullets in your feet, you got bullet fragments in your other foot. I'm thinking the doctors is the police, so I'm still trying not to tell them like, no, I didn't know I got shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Like I've never been shot before. I don't have to lie about that.
Now, bullet fragments in her feet. Now, we learn later, ain't no bullet fragments in her feet. But again, I want you to understand this story because now you have all of these women now, which is why I did this video, because I saw the comments. I always tell you it's not what the celebrities are saying, it's how I see this affecting regular people. And when you watch regular people discussing this, is, oh, her memory can still be perfect from back then. If it's perfect, the story should never change. But since it's changed, then we understand already the memory ain't perfect. So now we have to ask, which story is true?
Why would I lie? You want me to be a bad person so bad, and y'all motherfuckers want to believe the lie before you believe the truth. Stop trying to come on the internet acting like a black woman, a grown-ass black woman, really got any reason to be lying on another grown-ass black man when all the shit fucked up going on in the world right now.
Now, see, again, we're using this black women. That's her virtue signaling. That's her signaling out to all of her ladies. Hey, yo, I'm one of y'all. Now, while that's happening, let me explain to you this. Why would a woman have to lie? There's a lot of men in jail for black women lying on them. It's a lot of black men dead because black women have went back to other black men and told them something happened that didn't happen. So let's not start with why would you have to lie?
If you really want to tell the motherfucking truth, I've tried to save this nigga. Even though he shot me, I tried to spare him. And y'all motherfuckers is not sparing me. That's crazy. That's fucked up.
And this is her again, like they always do, the Superwoman complex. Here we are again, saving black men. Here we are again, Black Lives Matter, marching for Ahmaud Arbery, marching for George Floyd. Even though, again, I told you, those 2 men, I'm not putting my name and co-signing that. There's a lot of other issues we could discuss in the community, in names and depths. We could put our names and our hats, hang our hats on. I'm not hanging my hat on them 2 men. Sorry. You're just not. You want to do it for? No, I already did the Breonna Taylor story. I'm not hanging my hat on that either. Now, there's some innocent people who do die, and at that point, I'll hang my hat on that. But I'm not hanging my hat on George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery or the guy who was killed in Georgia after he took the taser and tased the cop. Of course you was getting ready to die, buddy. I don't know what else you thought was getting ready to happen. Like, you're not going to wrestle a cop down, take his taser, shoot him with it, and then think like, hey, yo, they just going to catch me, beat me, and arrest me. No, you're probably going to die after that.
I go through so much shit on a daily basis anyway. Then I have to get on the motherfucking internet when I'm just trying to make my music, do my shit, pop my shit like the bitch I always been. And I'm trying to save niggas. And y'all on the internet talking about, oh, bitch, you ain't get shot. Oh, bitch, you this. Oh, free tour. That nigga not in jail. He not in jail because I didn't tell the laws what happened as soon as it happened. And I should have. I'm smart. I didn't have to spare that nigga. I don't have to spare nobody, but I did. And I'm.
If you had bullet fragments in your feet, they was going to investigate that. He wasn't in jail for shooting you 9 times out of 10 because you didn't get shot. Now, was there a gun there? Don't deny that. Did somebody fire that gun at you? Probably so. And to be honest with you, I still don't know whether Tory fired the gun at you or not. What I am telling you is, though, you didn't get shot. And you've admitted that. But again, now is, look at me. I honored the G code. I ain't put him in jail. I ain't turned him in to the pigs. I ain't turned him in to the law. So, that's one down. Now what we're going to go is, we're going to now go to Kelsey real quick because this is the shorter video, which is the girl who was in the car. And we're going to listen to what Kelsey had to say.
So, let me make sure I ain't forgetting nothing. And the people around you too. You know what I'm saying? They know it's real. Y'all know I was solid. Y'all know I was loyal to that girl. I would have did anything for her. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the truth is, I mean, in your song, I think you said, I want the niggas, I don't know what the fuck, I want the niggas you got or some shit. We all know that I ain't never wanted none of your niggas. It was really, come to find out, your ass was fucking with a nigga behind my back that I was on first.
And now, what she's talking about is the world initially thought Meg and Tory was into it because Tory was flirting with Kylie. No, what happened was Meg and her friend Kelsey. Tory was messing with Kelsey first. Meg smashed Kelsey. I mean, Meg smashed Tory behind Kelsey's back. But again, this is what she's telling you. We had an argument and we left because I wanted to leave. They didn't want to leave. This is why I'm telling you, there's enough people, to be honest with you, who still don't know any of these things happen. There are people still today commenting on this saying she's correct. And I chimed in and said, well, there are things that you know about the friend Kelsey getting shot. I mean, the friend Kelsey and Tory sleeping with each other, and Meg slept with Tory behind Kelsey. No, I didn't know nothing but that Tory shot her from behind. So you don't know anything about any of this. It's just, as my man Michael Smith from Brother From Another would say, it's just believe black women and believe women at all costs. And if they're lying, then come back and apologize to whoever was accused. And then we'll come back and try and rehabilitate your image. Welcome to the new silent generation.
And that ain't right, because you're supposed to be my best, you're supposed to be my best friend. We laugh at bitches that do that shit to each other. We not supposed to do that shit to each other. So stop playing with me. And I don't want to go back and forth on the internet. I don't want to. I don't care whatever you think you got on me. Expose the shit.
And I told y'all in previous videos, the worst trait of any friend you could have, male or female, for a man is to sleep with your girl. Because if he'll violate like that, ain't nothing else he won't violate. He'll rob from you. He'll rob you. He'll kill you. If a man will sleep with your girl behind your back, he'll violate every boundary. If a woman will sleep with her friend's man behind her back, she will that friend will have violated every boundary, or they will violate every boundary you could possibly set for them. It doesn't get any more ruthless of a person or a friend than to do something like that. Because for me, again, like I say, it's over 300 million people in America. Be probably saying it's 130, 40 million adults if we just want to go there. 80, 90, 70, 80, 90 million women, however many men it's going to be here. There's enough options out here for you not to go sleeping with somebody a friend has slept with. See, that's why I tell you, that's when I'll call a woman a hoe. If a woman will sleep with me, then go sleep with my man, to me, that's a hoe. I don't care if we the only two people she ever slept with in her life. I don't really care about body count, because for me, I've told you guys on previous episodes, if a woman 40 years old and she ain't never really been in the longest relationship she's been in is a year, her having 2 or 3 dudes at the minimum a year she's sleeping with from the age of 18, 19 when she goes away to college to the age 40, we're talking 22 years. We talking at bare minimum 66 guys. At the bare minimum, her number would be 66. So for me, again, that's why I tell people I don't really use body count as that. If I can sexually satisfy a woman, that's fine. We cool with it. If a woman running through the guys, though, that's somebody you don't want in your circle. See, I don't care, again, if she only slept with 2 people. If she's capable of sleeping with you and a buddy, she'll violate all boundaries. And she'll be as filthy and as low down as she possibly. That's the type of woman, or that's the type of man who'll bring another woman into your bedroom and sleep with them in the crib. That's the type of woman, a man who'll get you robbed at home. That's the type of woman, a man, that get you killed out here in the streets. They don't have any boundaries.
Because there's nothing that.
Well, they don't believe in honoring boundaries. I shouldn't say they don't have any boundaries. Those type people don't believe in honoring boundaries.
And expose that I won't hold myself accountable for. Accountability. You need to learn how to hold yourself accountable for shit. This shit, I don't even know why it's going this far. I don't understand to this day, y'all. Y'all ask me these questions. I don't have the answers. I don't have the fucking answers. Because people don't know how to be mature and talk like adults. Y'all can't say that I ain't trying to have no real conversation. Y'all can't say that. And really, I'm not the one that should have been having. Y'all should have been having conversations with me. Y'all owe me a fucking conversation. I don't owe nobody shit. I don't owe my loyalty to nobody no more. I don't owe shit. So please stop playing with me. Stop fucking playing with me, because, you know, we can take it there. I want you to move on with your life. I want you to elevate. I want you to succeed. I'm not you. You're Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not you. I'm Kelsey. Let me do what I have to do to get where I need to be to make sure my family eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here really trying to make some shit happen. That's why you fucked with me so tough, because I was a hustler. Because I was on my shit.
Now, this is the friend in the car, but she's explained to you, yo, I was thorough. I kept it a bean. You didn't. She told you got people around you having you out here behaving crazy. So now, if that's the case, now she's no longer friends with Meg. I always tell you, when people grow up and they day ones, they don't have no day ones around them, you have to ask some interesting questions at that point. And you need to start deep diving into why those relationships ended and who is this person actually you standing in front of. So, Kelsey doesn't ever go in detail what actually happened in this video between Meg and her and what happened in the car. So we'll leave that go. And now we're going to get to Tory Lanez. Now, as we start with Tory is doing this video, going into this whole spiel about the black woman being the neck on the body and, the head can't turn without it and all of this other stuff. Again, I know what he was trying to say. Do we need each other? We definitely do. The culture doesn't work without both of us together in it. There is no culture without the man and the woman. And see, people think you can maneuver as MGTOW. Yeah, I'm going to go my own way. The world can be MGTOW, but you won't have a world after a certain amount of time. Won't be anywhere now or in the near future, but you'll look up. 100 years from now, the population could be well under 4 billion. And people would start asking questions, what happened? So now we're going to get to Tory and his comments on this.
I just can't let my character be assassinated for things that are not even really true, and for falsified narratives and information. Let's start this off. When the original report came out, and it was the TMZ report about this, that, and the third, and there was gunshots in Kylie Jenner's house, and Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail, and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested, and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever it's like.
Now, you have to understand when Rock Nation is telling them it'll be in your best interest not to speak about it, that's because they're creating their own PR campaign for how they want to handle this, which they've handled this already. Protect black women, screw black men. This is how we do this. Now, again, who's the head of Rock Nation? Exactly. Who's his wife? Exactly. And for those who don't know, Jay-Z is head of Rock Nation. Beyonce is his wife, which is why I told you, you have to start understanding all of the pieces at play. Who are these people standing next to? Why are they standing next to him? Why is Jay-Z standing next to Meek Mill? Why is Jay-Z standing next to Robert Kraft? Why is Beyonce standing next to Meg Thee Stallion? Why is Beyonce standing next to Rihanna? Why is Rihanna now denouncing even being affiliated with Meg Thee Stallion? Why is Drake pushing away from Meg Thee Stallion? Why all these people and all these pieces starting to move around all of a sudden? See, once you start looking at stuff like that, then you can start understanding. It's kind of, for me, following the paper trail. Then you can start understanding where people actually stand on certain issues. Whether they're saying it outright or not, most people by paper trails or who they're standing with, they'll let you know where they stand at.
I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, TMZ report come out. TMZ reports and have the surveillance now. Now they see the video of the arrest. You see Megan, you see me, and you see it's all sprawled out on the ground in bathing suits and blah, blah, blah. And everything I'm saying is public record. You can go back and look at this shit. You can go back and see it. Like, you feel me? So they say, oh, okay, you see her out of the car, she's getting out of the car, she's hopping. It looks bad, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I felt bad watching it because it made her look bad, and it didn't make her look good. It didn't make any of us look good. And I didn't want that for her. I don't see that for anybody. So all of a sudden, when we get arrested, or when it looks like we all got arrested, the memes start. Now I want to really bring you guys in for a second so you can understand something. And I really just want you to take this in. Like, she is a person I spent enough time with her to observe and understand something about her, where it's like, she's going through a lot. She goes through a lot. She deals with a lot on her day-to-day basis. And because of that, she's not used to, you know, and not even just because of that, but just because of the fact that she's been praised so much. We've always looked at her as like, yo, that's hip hop sweetheart. Like she's nice, she's talented, whatever the case is, cool. And because of that, like we've never seen a moment where the memes have come at her, where the memes are like, yo, nigga, let's laugh at your pain. Ah, ha, 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 ha. She's never had to deal with that because she's always been praised. So everything that's been happening has been a reaction off of what's been going on. So it gets down to this point now where it's like, now the reports are starting to say, okay, well, everyone's pointing to different things. No one really knows what's happening, but nobody has ever said she got shot. Nobody has ever said she got shot. Not TMZ, not the police report at this point.
Again, this is Meg saying, you shot me. You shot me. Remember that.
Nothing is saying that she got shot. Soon as she sees herself on video with the bikini and things like that, and it looks bad, she then comes out and says, yo, the narrative of me getting cut by glass, it's just not true. She doesn't point at nobody or anybody or say anything or anything like that. She just says the narrative that whatever came out of me being cut by glass is not true. I was shot in my feet with the intention to harm me and put harm and danger upon me, right? So, okay, cool. Like all of a sudden the affiliates of her circle start pointing like little subliminal fingers, like count your days and like I won't be around and he's shooting at feet and like little funny things that they start doing. And I'm kind of like, damn, hold on, where are y'all about to take this? Because y'all told me not to make a statement. So I'm trying to figure out where y'all taking me to, I don't get it. So then at this point she goes live.
And again, this is Tory's fault too, but again, this is where, because they hold Jay-Z in such reverence, and they hold that stature and that status, that is, you know what? I'm going to honor Big Homie and not do this, and I'm going to do a solid. But see, once you start seeing that narrative play out, that was up to you to stand up tall and say, yo, this is what happened. Because once the ball get rolling, it is what it is in the court of public opinion. That's the way this country operates. They don't really care if you're guilty or innocent. It's just who sells the best narrative.
Because people are not really understanding the story or whatever cases. She waits. She doesn't go on, a time when it's just a regular time. Y'all who don't understand, it was one of those things where me and her knew what was going on, but y'all didn't know what was going on. She went live on my birthday with all her jewelry on, da. And then she says, yo, and the thing about the whole jewelry thing is like, my bad. She knew that it wasn't a situation where, she knew she had to do certain sympathetic things, I guess, to push the narrative. And I don't know who told her to do certain things like that. And I'm not the one who's trying to ever point the finger at anybody. But
we know who told her to do it. You don't want to say Rock Nation told her to do it, but Rock Nation told her to do it. And that's fine. Because had they not told her to do it, they would have stood far away from her at this point. And since they didn't take a step back and distance themselves from her, then I can only conclude they was behind it.
It really comes down to it. It's like you went on live on your birthday, and then you said on my birthday, and then you said I got shot in my foot, and it didn't hit no bones or tendons. So everybody's looking at this, and again, the internet is a sick place. This is a place where people don't give a fuck about you. They do what they do. They antagonize and they do what they do. You go in and you see you get shot in your foot, no bones or tendons. The internet goes into an outrage because some people are like, hold on, how you not get shot? How you get shot in your foot and it don't hit no bones or tendons? Like, whoever is watching this, if you need to go on Google and look at a foot anatomy of bones and skeletons and tendons, you realize there's 30 bones in your feet and 100 tendons, some crazy number like that, right? So she now gets to this place where the people are like, hold on, and again, the internet is sick. The internet starts coming at her and say, yo, show your feet. Because we're seeing you at DJ Khaled's house and you're on your tippy toes, and then we're seeing that you're, you're here and here, and they're antagonizing her. They're brutally coming for her and not giving her, I guess, what it is that she needed. But it gets to this point where now she posts a picture of her foot. And she posts this picture of her foot. There's no exit wound. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the story. She says under the post, you see, I got shot in the back of my foot because when I was walking away from the car, she says she puts this in capital letters. She says, I was walking away from the car and I got shot in the back of my foot. She doesn't ever show the other foot that she claims she got shot in. And I'm not trying to.
And again, this is when I tell you we get into this, just believe everything that somebody is saying. That's, for me, just show me the proof. If you show me the proof, I have no problem with believing you at all. But if you don't show me the proof, what else? What do you want me to go on? Because your word, you're not going to tell me it's raining on my head and you peeing on me. You're not going to tell me I'm eating a brownie and it's actually dog shit. Like, at a certain point, when stuff starts to get illogical for me, you're going to have to make it make sense. Your word ain't good enough anymore.
Again, I hate that this is coming off like I'm trying to come for and whatever cases, but this is what I'm having to endure and watch when I'm knowing certain facts. So it gets to, it gets to this place where I'm just like, bro, like this is not me, and I don't deserve this. Like I don't deserve to have to go through this. Like I never have been somebody who's had domestic cases. I've never hit no woman. I've never had abusive cases with no woman. You can't pull those type of facts up on me. I don't have those. So it's like I just didn't.
Now, because he doesn't have those, also does not mean that this actually didn't happen, that he actually wasn't holding the gun. Now, until we can kind of hear from Kelsey, or this case is kind of finished up where we get all of the evidence, because somebody's going to apologize one way or the other, either him or her. So still at this point, I'm still not getting ready to say he didn't shoot at her, because I haven't heard Kelsey. At this point, is he said, she said. But what I'm telling you is, my issue with this is, we're at a point now where somebody said, somebody shot me, and there not being evidence of you being shot.
Didn't understand why I'm going through this. So now it gets to this point where she posts this picture of her foot, and everyone's seeing certain things, and everyone's saying certain things about her foot, and some people think it's real, some people don't think it's real, and it gets to this place where some people are just not believing it. So she posts the picture. There's no bullet tray. Where are they taking out the bullets for the pan? Like, this is what's going on. Like, where are they taking out the bullets for the pan? I don't understand. Like, where's the surgical? You're not in the surgical room. And anybody who knows, I mean, this is like, it clearly had to be the first day that you've taken this picture. So if this is the first day that you've taken this picture, it's like, where's all the evidence? Why are you not in the surgical room? First of all, you're not even allowed to take pictures in a surgical procedure. That is against the law. It doesn't matter if you're famous or.
And even though you're not allowed to, people do that. So that's Tory stating his thing. And then Tory's thing was, if I shot you, why would you get back in the car? See, for me, that's kind of when I tell you the story doesn't make sense, because it's, I got out, I walked home. I was walking home. Then I got shot. Then I jumped back in the car. Then I didn't tell the cops the truth because I didn't want us to go to jail. Yet they made you get out the car. They saw the blood. Your foot was bloody. You had to go to the hospital. So, hey, at that point, you got some questions you got to answer. Somebody got to go to jail. You got shot. You need to now say who it was who did it. But you didn't. You protected him for a while. Then you came out and said, he shot me. So now we get to... Let's share the last one. Now we get to this interview, this clip I saw with her with Gail. And at this point, again, I just want you to hear what was being said, and you make your own call.
It was an argument.
Now, this interview that I am playing, this hasn't aired yet, I don't believe. Just CBS just put this clip up on their YouTube feed just a few hours ago. So at this point, this is not something that's old. But this is almost 2 years later now. Let's listen to the account.
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like, we fuss about silly.
Normal friend stuff. The argument because I was ready to go, you wasn't ready to go. Now, again, argument got so heated and the car had to get out and I'm going to walk home. Those was her words, not mine. The argument got so heated, I got out the car and started walking home. Now, we're at that point where you got to start walking home. That's a heated argument. You get out of your car to walk to your house, that's a heated argument.
Silly stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. But I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy. It shouldn't have escalated. Right. So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, bitch.
Now again, it was a meaningless, simple argument, but you got out the car to leave. So somebody was you get out the car to walk, somebody really pissed off. But again, these are the stories we are now in the pictures we are now painting. Now we're painting a different picture.
He started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times. And I was so scared. In the car, shooting from the car? He is standing up over the window, shooting. And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick. Like, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he can shoot me and kill me. Like, were you afraid for your life at that time? I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
Now, that's the end of the clip. Notice what just happened? Never been shot at. 2 years ago, he shot me. Now we're at a point today, I never been shot at before. The English language is very funny, very tricky. Comprehension is very funny, very tricky. But again, we've now gone from what? It was an argument. Now she's downplaying the argument. But now it's gone from I didn't get shot, I got shot at. Which now means what? Now we have to have a whole different conversation again. And as you go look through the comments, and we're going to go to Spade. And we'll go.
But that's like normal friend.
Where are the comments at for this? Well, we can't see them. But we'll stick to the YouTube comments. There's literally no reason for her to lie. This is such a traumatic experience. Hope she gets the justice she deserves. She already lied. She said she got shot to now never been shot at. The lie has already happened. It's already happened. And again, you have this guy. It's no reason to lie. you do realize people have lied for worse. Like the delusion in this world is crazy. In middle school, this girl lied and said her brother died. Teacher called home and the brother was okay. From that day on, I understood liars don't give a crap about the lie as long as they get someone to believe it. Not saying she's lying or isn't, but we can sit here and say because of her trauma, she isn't capable of lying. And right there, that's gonna be the next out. Y'all don't understand what I was going through with the death of my mother, being a superstar, being a black woman in this country, in this society. And if it comes out that it was her friend Kelsey, she's going to say, I was trying to protect her. I didn't believe she would do it, or I didn't want to get her in any trouble. And I was so terrified that I just blamed him. And she may even say Rock Nation forced her to blame Tory. And I wouldn't be shocked if that actually happened to play off of this whole protect black women movement they have going on. It's been very lucrative for Meg at this point. Now, you have this girl, Natafia. Natahia, I should say. To everyone saying she's lying because she says she didn't see it, when you eventually at some point look back, maybe she didn't physically see him shooting, but she eventually turned around, looked back at the truck, and saw him pointing out the window. Now you got people saying, replying to her, she changes her story every time. He never had the gun, his DNA was not on it. And then you have her saying, I'm saying like after the fact, like eventually if you're going to turn around and see, maybe after the shooting stop, I don't know, LOL. Then she comes right back and says, I thought this was her first time actually telling the story. And again, everybody has opinions on things and they know nothing about anything. Everybody just want a platform. Nobody wants to do any intellectual leg work, any intellectual heavy lifting, and go find out what's actually going on out here at all. They would much rather just come out here and say what they feel and keep it moving. You got another person out of New York, another woman. I'm in tears. I wish her mother was still alive. This young lady needs therapy and our love. See, again, everybody feels sorry for her. They will never care about how our image looks through all of this. It's you a man, you tough, get over it. Same as when we growing up. Stop all that crying. You can't be vulnerable. You don't need to be vulnerable. And again, as we become older and we have high blood pressure, heart disease, dying at a young age from stress, nobody understands why. Nobody wants to take any responsibility for the way that we turn out as we become adults. Now, you get another woman, April. Wow.
There was an argument in the car.
It was
I honestly think maybe somebody actually no, but we're not even gonna go there. She does. She's literally by herself. I lost my mother years ago too, and I still have to deal with black male violence. It's terrifying, and they are our biggest threats. Now, again, what does her mother? This is what I tell you when I say the sympathy part. Because she lost her mother years ago, she can identify. Now, because she may have been beaten by a man, she can identify. That doesn't mean Tory beat her, though. That doesn't mean Tory shot her. But because this story is happening so frequently in our culture, in our community, people can identify because it's what? Nobody held the people accountable for who beat me. Now, of course, We also have to have a conversation of what type of men are you dealing with and who's raising the men who are beating you. But again, that's not a conversation we're going to have in this culture, and we ain't going to touch that this episode. But it's terrifying that they are our biggest threats. Black men are now black women's biggest threats. Now, when they need equality, white men are their biggest threats. Which is why you need to understand the goalpost will always be moved. Always. You got another one. My heart goes out to this strong queen. We love and support you, Meg, but most importantly, we believe you. Even without evidence, even without the evidence supporting it, and even with people knowing the evidence doesn't support it, you still are a strong queen. We still support you. We still believe you, even though the evidence doesn't support you. We still believe you anyway without facts. Even though the facts say you lying, we believe you. Because even though you was a crack fiend, you always gonna be a black queen. So, again, we have to get to a point where we're going to be honest and start to deal with the facts in society. And the facts are, for a lot of these cases, there's a lot of lying going on. There's no evidence to support a lot of these statements and accusations that's being made. And when you are getting your head kicked in, because you love to say how strong you are, call the cops. When you are being raped as an adult, report it. Call the cops. Because what we can't keep having is you coming back 10 and 15 years later saying, hey, yo, this happened then, believe me. Why didn't you say anything? I was scared. But why are you saying something now? Because I'm strong and I'm a queen and I finally got the strength to. Hey, man, every day of life is scary. Every breath you take is scary. Every second you live is scary. Because the next second you don't know you will be breathing or living again. So if you're going to be this strong black queen and you want this matriarchy and you want to be the leaders lead even when it's sad, even when it's terrifying. A leader understands when he has to fall on the throne or fall on the knife, fall on the sword. Leaders understand, yo, I must fall on the sword here. I'm going to have to give my life for this. I'm going to have to go do something that's terrifying. But because I'm the leader of this, I have to be the one to walk through that wall. So if you want to lead, let's start changing our behavior and leading. It's your boy, the Hood Nerd. I'm out.